Welcome to the screencast of the upcoming 0.2 version of newsbeuter. I will give you a little demonstration of the most important features of this RSS feed reader to give you an insight on what the capabilities of this program are and what you can do with it. When you first run newsbeuter, you get an error message that you have no URLs configured. You can either manually set URLs or you can import an OPML file by running newsbeuter-i and then the OPML file. It will then import it into the URLs configuration file. When you then run newsbeuter, it will start up and you see the RSS feeds that you have configured. On top you have some general information, and on the bottom you have a key hint on the most important keys that you can use. By pressing the question mark on your key, you also get help of the most important keystrokes. You can now load a feed by pressing R, or load all feeds by pressing Shift R. When this loading is done, you can enter a feed. You see all the articles within this feed, including the title. Then you can open an article and you have the feed name, the title of the article, a link to the article, and the date when it was downloaded or updated. And then you have the body and additional links for this article. What you can now do is, for example, you can open it in the browser by pressing the O key. By default, this is links that is started, but you can configure any other browser. Now we will quit that browser again and we go into the view of the additional URLs. An article may contain more links to other websites, and so we also may want to open them. So we press the U key, we get the overview. You can select the URL and press enter to open it again with links. What you can also do is you can view the HTML source code of this article by pressing Ctrl U. You can now see the HTML unrendered, and pressing Ctrl U again brings you back to the rendered view. You can also save this article to a text file by pressing the S key. It already suggests a file name, so all we have to do is press enter, then it is saved. And we can go back to the article overview. When you have quite a few articles already read, I will simulate that by toggling the red flag with Shift N for a few articles. You can then use the N key to jump to the next unread article, as you can see here. This also works when you're in the article view. By pressing N, you go to the next one, next. So you can quickly go over all your unread articles. It even works across several feeds. In this view, you can also mark all articles in one feed read by pressing capital A, mark all read, and in the feed overview you can use the same key to mark a single feed, mark the articles of a single feed read, or you can use capital C to catch up all articles of all feeds. Another important feature are tags. it's a way of categorizing several different feeds by attaching single words to them. You do this by the URLs configuration file, by simply starting up a text editor, and then we can tag the different RSS feeds. For example, Fefes block, we tag it with news, we tag it with fun, we tag it with conspiracy. So you can see one feed can have 0 or more tags, and indefinitely many, so you can categorize your feeds in any way you want. Then CNN top stories, we tag it with news, we tag it with not fun, and Neon's blog, we tag it with weblog, we tag it with friend, and with geek. Now we save it, quit the editor and start newsbeuter again. By default we see all feeds, but we can now select a certain tag by pressing T, and now we can select a tag, for example conspiracy, and all the feeds that are tagged with conspiracy are shown. Currently only Fefes blog. We can now clean this tag by pressing Ctrl T and select another tag, for example news, and we see Fefes blog and CNN.com top stories, which were both tagged with news. We can also select another one, for example not fun, and we only see CNN.com. Now we clean that again and come to the next important feature, and that is searching. When you want to search for an article over all the feeds you have, you simply press the slash key in the feed list. Then you are prompted to enter the search query. For example, we search for Baghdad, and we get one result which we can immediately open. We can go back and we can press slash again to start another search for Iraq and get another result, and so on. But when you want to search for articles only in a single feed, you simply select it and then press slash, and when we search for Iraq we have no results. But when we search for example Tor, we get 2 results, and we can select, for example this one, open it, do everything we were able to do before in the article view, go back and go back to the article list and go back to the feed list. One important feature that most RSS feed readers have is automatic reload. newsbeuter has this too. You only need to configure it. You start the text editor again. You need to create a new file, config, into which you will configure auto reload yes, and reload time 60. That means we enable automatic reload. The default is that automatic reload is disabled, and we set the reload time to 60 minutes. The default is 30 minutes. In this configuration file you can configure a lot more. It's all contained in the documentation. You can even comment it, so it's pretty flexible. Now we start newsbeuter again, and as you can see, it immediately starts reloading as soon as you start, and then every 60 minutes. So that's for it now. Hope you liked the presentation, and would be great if you used newsbeuter, and I'd be glad to hear from you how you like it. So any feedback is welcome. Bye bye.